put the ready to go on the Friday prior to the first Monday in June. That's all I have for the report.
Chairman Flanders, did you want the work session on June 12th? That's the second Wednesday.
That would be fine with me now. If there was something that, Brad, did you have something you wanted to discuss on that meeting, particularly?
Or
That was the tentative special meeting, but right now there isn't a meeting.
The medical thing?
no, we're gonna go a different route. You're talking about for the dialysis and stuff.
Right.
No, we're gonna go a different route. And what happened after we find out what's going to go on tonight for the council meeting, that'll give us the direction we need to take to the planning commission to go forward with that. I suspect what we're going to end up doing is probably rezoning that, the whole hospital area, not just that one piece of property, but the whole
Then
hospital
we're
area.
not, we're for the regular.
Right, yeah, we still
Okay.
need to get some stuff clarified on that.
All right, no, with the board is that, second Wednesday agreeable instead of the first Wednesday?
June 12th? June 12th?
June 12th.
Yes.
Okay. That'll be 10 a.m. here.
Okay.
Anything else? Okay, we'll go to item number 8, agenda items for the next regular scheduled planning session. Do you have any member have anything you want to put on our regular schedule?
We'll get something on there for the landscaping and C2 zones.
Got that?
I'll have something preliminary drawn up, and then we can take a look at that, see if it fits, and then pass it on to the city council. What we have right now, it applies to a C2 zone as it relates to its location to an R zone. So it really doesn't cover the whole area that we need to cover.
All right, okay. Item number 9, public comment. Is there any comment from the public? Yes, Mr. Chapels?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, you need to hold your meetings in the evening as has been done for decades. You're making it extremely hard for citizens to attend the meetings. How much hardship must the citizens of Edie endure? You people are not good public servants, and I remind you, it is the taxpayer who's paying all the bills. People have to take off from work. Why are you making such a hardship? Mr. Chairman, you've yet to address the installation of a proper safety barrier along Winter Road where Mount Wheeler has put in the new substation. What is there now is insufficient, needs to be extended to another 30 feet.
We were to discuss
The
that.
back or the alley has no safety barrier at all. There's quite a drop. Wait till public comment, then you can get behind me, sir. Mr. Chairman, drainage coming from the substation area is yet to be addressed properly. It's dumped over the bank and onto the cemetery. In some cases, some of the graves have been put in jeopardy, meaning exposed, and things could be worse. Mr. Chairman, recently I went to the White Pine County Planning Commission and I asked if the swimming pool had a special use permit to locate the pool near the high school. They were unaware that it needed it. They said it might be your consideration. I don't know, so I'm asking, do they have a special use permit? If not, you need to address that.
Is he asking us, or is he advising us that it needs it?
I thought I was asking. I went to the other place and asked. They didn't know.
It sounds like you're advising us that they need to have a special use permit. So.
Well, you can say, yes, they do, or no, they don't. That's something you have to research if you don't already know. I don't know. That's why I'm here.
I think we discussed it.
I haven't heard it. I haven't missed too
I
many
mean,
meetings.
when it was a regional planning commission, I think it was like 2007 or 2008. I had to look through my records.
Well, if it's there, that's good. I would just like to know. That's why I come to the meetings. Also, I asked if there was any request for well serve for water and sewer. They didn't know. How can you get a permit without having water and sewer service? And you can't attach to what you have there now because you might compromise both facilities. There may not be enough capacity. I also asked if they had a list for home occupation, in particular Mr. Allworth and his business Scottwater. They're researching that. I gave him a copy of the ad that he had and also the phone number out of the phone page. I've yet to see anything from you folks, and I've not seen any updated list, Mr. Primus. I also have a concern in regards to some of the variances you folks are granting. It appears some people have to pay fees, come before you, go through the public process, and others do not. In the case of Mr. Kopp, he paid the money, yet the individual on the corner of Stevens and North didn't pay anything. They built on the property line. Didn't pay any fees. Stevens and North Street, Mr. Rodriguez. Now, if you're going to let one go, you should let everybody go. Don't selectively enforce the law. I brought to you that particular concern numerous times while it was being constructed. We've yet to address the corner of the intersection of Campton and... Well, you interrupted me, or I would have had enough time to finish this last item.
Make your last statement.
Okay, we need to address the intersection or that corner of the Copper Queen, Campton, Gray Basin intersection. The road has been narrowed. People say it hasn't, but the official map shows it as 55 feet. Recently at a planning, not a planning, but an RTC meeting, Mr. Stork said that he did some research and the street is actually where it needs to be. But he didn't do enough research, or his math is bad. Because if you go at the other end of that street where Mr. Terry has his property, the water valve was leaking on his property. It was removed to the property line. The city may not work on private property. You can't have it both ways. That needs to be adjusted before the Main Street to Gray Basin Boulevard is redone by the state. You can't let some individual who sits as a public official possibly getting favors that others don't. You need to clear that up. What looks to be going on now is not good at all.
Mr. Johnson, thank you.
I'd like to address a couple of things that he's talking about. Number one is Mr. Rodriguez's property. It is not, and this has been addressed probably over the last year. What he did is he actually replaced what he had. It is not sitting on the property line. I made him move it back in off the property line and on a footprint of the existing structure. So that is what Mr. Joshua is saying is there's no merit whatsoever.
You're wrong.
Sorry, George.
No, I'm not wrong.
You're wrong. I've lived there all my life. I'm not going to have some rookie tell me what's going on.
We're getting remarks on for our knowledge at this time. Yes,
We also on the, if you look at the radius on the curb and gutter on the Ramada end, the radius is what formed that sidewalk. The radius was never changed. That was never taken out on that curb and gutter. So it was continued up. It stopped before, where it was just a dirt. You had the road, and you had a side road, or whatever you want to call it, just gravel. But they just returned the curb and gutter back up to the edge of the property. So it's in line with the radius that was already there. So.
And along those same lines, it should be noted that this issue was brought up by Mr. Chachas when he was mayor back in 1991, and that discussion happened in the city council then, and the city council at that time determined that with the highway radius, or I guess the encroachment or approach that they have onto their state highway, that they were the ones that set that.
Right.
And the city council was unwilling to address that and move that at that time. And so that is consistent with what the city council did back in 1991.
I'd like to see the minutes of that.
That curb and gutter is all
You can
furnished
certainly,
to us.
is that a public records request that you're going to pay for, George?
Yeah, if it's factual, if you're just shuffling papers, you can keep it.
I've got
But you made a statement, and if it's a factual statement, yeah, I want a copy.
Okay. You'll need to come in and prepay, because the last time you ordered some documents, you never came in, so.
You better check the law. The last time I came in for a document, I told you, as a candidate, I was entitled to that under the law.
No, you weren't.
I've gotten it in the past without charge, and I got it from the Secretary of State's people.
Then get it from
You're
the
making your
Secretary of
rules.
State.
Pardon me?
Get it from the Secretary of State.
Okay, I'll do that.
Just wanted to state the way those radiuses are followed. If you go down on Avenue G, on the north side of the Town and Country Motel, Mr. Chachis himself followed the state highway radius back, and his sidewalk imposes what appears to impose into the city right away, which it doesn't. It imposes into what the access that's allowed by the state highway onto the highway, and brings this. And those radiuses are narrower than what we have for actual city right of ways. And just because the right of way is there doesn't mean that we utilize the entire right of way, and that is why my permit was issued by the city to put the sidewalk where it was, so as it followed with the access, the permitted access onto the state highway. And I stayed clear out of it. I had a contractor. My contractor had an engineer. They went to the city, and the city came out and showed them where the back of the curb should be located, that it should follow the access to the state highway.
Just one more thing was concerning the pool. While the pool is located within the city limits, I was talking to Chris Flannery, who's the building official for the county, just today. They will do the permitting. It is a county building. That's the way things are done. That's the way they've always been done. What they do have to do is there's certain issues that they have to comply with. One of them, the issue that we went over today, was the amount of parking that was going to be required at the facility. On those issues, they have to comply with the City of Ely codes and ordinances. But as far as the permitting of it, the City of Ely has absolutely nothing to do with the permitting of that structure. It's a county structure.
That's also related to the contractor, core company, or whatever they have to apply for their permits.
We don't see any of the blueprints on it. We don't see anything like that. It's a county building that's located within the city limits.
Okay, well, thank you. I'm sorry, Mr. Chachis, your time is up.
Well, if it's within the city limits, you've got to collect the money.
Those permits are going to be granted by the company that's going to be the contracting team. They have to apply for those permits, and at that time, those fees will be paid.
To you folks, the city of Ely, you know you guys are on the skids.
If we don't do the inspections and things like that, they're probably going to be paid to the county, right?
No. If it's in the city, it's your permit.
Okay, this isn't a discussion time, George.
Good.
You had your public comment. So it's not your
Yes.
option to comment
You're
on
no
things that
different.
we talk about up here.
You're no different. You're not part of the board.
I am their advisor.
Well, I advise you to keep within
Let's
the
stay
clarification.
within the realm of the meeting now. And when the time comes for those permits and whatnot, we'll all be aware of what has to be done properly. And thank you for your input.
You're most kind.
Anything else? Anything from public? There being none?
Make a move to adjourn.
I have a motion and a second on the floor for adjournment. Any further discussion on that? There being none, I'll call for the question. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.
Yeah, there's, I have the,
No.
on everyone.
What you do with shades?
All the training for that to add,
You can't build enough units to make it worth the time.
It's tough.
Yeah.
But I
talk about it, but
No, no problem. Okay, we'll see you.
all right.
I don't know, to be honest. But you always come down to see mine, I can lend it to you.
Okay, thank you.
It's not a problem. You know, mine stuff that somebody else on the board is.
Have a nice day.
There is.
Thank you very much.
We always do one after this.
Go, George.
This has been a Georgetown Media production. George Chachis reporting. The preceding program was sponsored by The Greek, Ely's Radio Shack dealer at 570 Ottman in downtown Ely, and brought to you as a public service by Ely TV, Channel 3-2 in Ely, Nevada. Local news telecasts can be seen Monday through Friday at 12:30 and 6:30 p.m. on this station.